Babylon Brooke here. And, well, Babylon Brooke is the name of the channel, so welcome to the channel, and I'm Brooke. I am new to this. I just applied my skincare. I curled the bottom half of my hair. This is day 3 since I washed it. I will probably wash it tomorrow. Sometimes I'll go one more day. I'll just clip it up on the 4th day. I used to wash it every single day. I find that it's healthier and less maintenance for me to do it less often, especially being disabled and having to dry my hair and all of that. My joints get swollen. I just want to make it easier on myself. If I feel like it was greasy, if I feel like it was stinky, if I sweat, if I went through a casino and got cigarette smoke in it from the people in the casino, then I would wash it again. I don't care if it was just later that day. I would rewash it, but it is not stinky. It is not sweaty. I am fine. Okay, so I just did my skincare in the video right before this. Now we are going to go ahead and apply our makeup for the day. Today I'm going to do it a little different, and I bought a few more brushes. I noticed I might have been a little low on brushes. I did have more here, but I saw some that were a little thinner that might be able to make the under eye line a little thinner and just more to work with. I got it at Marshall's, very affordable, $7.99 for about 8 brushes. Okay, and then this was the metal roller I was telling you guys about. I could just tap it if I don't want to roll my skin. It's nice and cold. I was sleeping with my fox up against my cheek, my warming fox. I bought it yesterday, again at Marshall's, 10 bucks. You could take his little thing out of his back, stick it in the microwave and warm him up. And I thought he was so cute. And since I have pain sometimes, I figured kind of like a heating pad, but also to heal my inner child, I would go ahead and I would buy that. So I am going to be starting with concealer, and I will be doing foundation today. As you can hear, I'm dropping things. I'm going to put the concealer where not too much. I have patches already, like red patches and freckles. I get red here, and I have a little scar here from my nose surgery, and I should have done that with a Q-tip. Live and learn. Okay, I'm not going to put that too close to my eyes because what I just did. A little here and take it down, and really that's all I need because I'm going to be putting foundation today. But let me go ahead and start by getting that all in. Where did my setting spray go? There she is. I should have done that first, but because it wasn't where I could see it, I forgot. We're going to spray my new beauty blender. When I squeezed her, she got lumpy. She looked like a croissant. But that's okay. Let's see how she works. She's clean. My other one needs to be washed, and I want to see how this one works. I was working with one beauty blender. She works very well. And then what I could do is lightly apply a little foundation. I get my words backwards often. You'll notice that about me. After I use the foundation, I could apply a little more concealer where needed. And or once this dries, I could put a second amount of concealer in the areas where I feel like I need it. That tiny bit covers my whole face. So I still have a little patch there. It's just pink and a few freckles. It's like I always have it, but I slept up against the fox, so it's actually red, not pink today. I'm using different lighting today. I wanted a little natural light to come through the window. and I'm trying to turn into it, not my back to it, so that I could see how it's gonna look outside. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a little foundation. I tend to put it on my palm. I haven't used this one in a while. Let me shake it up. The other one was running out. I'm only gonna use a tiny bit. Like so far, I'm like really have a tiny bit, but I just want a little more if it will cooperate with me. You know what? I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna take a tiny bit off. That's all we're gonna use, and maybe not all of it. So let's go ahead and see. I do need to find a great foundation. I don't want one that's too heavy. I do have spider veins. I do have those patches. They have improved a lot. They used to be really bad, and I just bought a product at Marshall's last night that is supposed to help with spider veins and calming your skin. So I hope that helps, because I had a $300 treatment that was very painful to try to remove those veins. I have them like, it goes all the way up on this side mostly. It looks like a tree without leaves, and it shows through my makeup because I use very light coverage. I don't want to have heavy foundation. I want the beauty of my healthy skin to show, and I just kind of accept that I'm gonna have, you know, a few spider veins showing through and a little bit of cluster right there, but it's so much better than it used to be. I used to put heavy foundation, and it would look like I had like dirt underneath my makeup, or that like I had a dirty patch on top of my makeup, because of the brown sun damage. But now it's just a tiny bit of freckles and maybe rosacea, but it is dramatically improving. I will be trying different foundations. I always do like drugstore. I used to do Clinique when I had acne. I did the Clinique salicylic acid one, which really helped my skin. Okay, I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit more concealer right in those patchy areas. But yeah, they discontinued that, and now my acne is under control. So what I was using, this one is IRL Filter Revolution. It's supposed to be better ingredients. Depends how much you use when you're not certain how it's gonna look on you. Sometimes less is more. And then where was the one I was trying to use? There was one that it got clogged. I think it's in the sink, and I was trying to unclog it to use it today, but it just didn't work out for today. I think it's Dunzo, and I couldn't open it up. Oh, here it is. This is the Maybelline 30 Hours, so it's long last. You can see it's like darker than what I currently have on. I think this is my summer one. Foundations tend to last a very long time for me now, because I hardly ever use them. I tend to get a concealer that's close to my skin color, and then I just add like some bronzer and blonde and maybe a little foundation, tiniest bit of foundation, to add a little bit of color, and then that tends to be enough. I don't want to put too much concealer under my eyes. I do have bruising here from my rhinoplasty, but I am going to add a tiny bit more, just a tiny bit. And some people put it here. I don't like to do that because I have aging skin, and this is actually enough to go all the way across and over my eyes, just this tiny bit, because my skin is moisturized from my skin routine. So I really do not need to over apply, which tends to make it settle in fine lines. And another tip you can do to try to blur that out and not have concealer settle in fine lines is to start by applying a little bit of Aquaphor under your eyes, which I do have some Aquaphor, but I am not trying to do a 500 step process today. We're just trying to get this going pretty quickly. I'm going to share, ooh, squeaky, squeaky. I'm going to share a couple of the new brushes that I bought yesterday and why I bought this, because I tend to just work with what I have and it works for me. But these are very tiny, very thin. This one's angled and thin. This one is also thin, has a little hair sticking up. The one that I was using yesterday to create my eyeliner with eyeshadow is a little thicker. This will be more precise, and I can get a cleaner wing because I don't always love using eyeliner. Eyeliner tends to be more complicated, gets more messy. It's just easier and quicker, and I like the look of a nice eyeshadow eyeliner. This is my Stanley that I got at Goodwill. I got this for less than $8. It was $8, but I also got to use, it was a discount day. Right now I'm drinking water and beet powder, a little bit of beet powder. It's kind of watered down because it's not the most delicious. Okay, what do I want to do now? I want to start with contour. Contour is a cool color. Let's squeeze a little more up. And bronzer is a warmer. I don't have a bronzer. I should look into bronzer drops. And I will do that. Okay, I'm gonna use a different brush today because yesterday I noticed I might even use a beauty blender. Yesterday I noticed it was pulling my skin when I used that brush, so I'm going to tap instead of pull my skin. I'm going to go into that hairline. Okay. So I start higher. I'm not the best at contour, but I blend it down, and I tend to see where my patches come back through. So what I'm going to do is put the blush on top of it, and it will help blend that out. And then I'll use another beauty blender with either my foundation or contour and just try to bring that a little higher. And don't worry about that. Okay, let's do the forehead. I think these might be a little too wet. I did put water into them, so hopefully it's not taking off my makeup. This one's a lot worse. I applied way too much on this side, huh? But we're gonna put the blush in there, and it might also be the lighting. So I'm going to go, I've been doing this way, but since I'm doing contour and I don't want to lose that, I'm going to go this way. And that did pull my skin a little bit. See, I have more light here and more shadow here, so it's looking darker over there. I just need to trust the process. Let's spray this. This is my favorite beauty blender, but I'm getting to know the other ones. The other ones are my first time using it is today, so even though that's a bright color, it blends very well. I take it up the temple, and you could bring it across the nose. You want to lift with this one. The contour, you start high and you take it downward. The blush, you want to go on the cheekbone and bring it up for a lift. This one you're creating a shadow. This one you're creating a lift where the sun would naturally hit. I don't know why my voice sounds like this today. And I have to remember that I slept with the fox there, so I have a little patch right there. I'm just gonna have to work with that. I don't want to over apply any makeup. It's also the lighting, like I've said, it looks fine when I turn and go like this. So we are just going to roll with it. Okay, I'm opening my new mascara. The other one was thick. I mentioned yesterday I should have opened this a few days ago and started using it as my first layer, and then using the one that was running out and getting thick as the second layer, because you do have to break in these mascaras, otherwise you're using like 100 passes over and over trying to get it thick. It starts out really thin and then gets thicker. You have to break it in, and so I should have been doing that already. But the good news is I bought two at the same time, so I didn't have to run to the store and pay full price for it. I bought them when they were on sale and or had a coupon, and so I'm ready to rock and roll. It's just going to be a little thin, and that's okay. I can always wear a thin set of eyelashes, false eyelashes, so that my eyelashes don't feel too thin, but we'll see how it looks once I get going. Okay, now I'm going to start contouring my nose before I put any setting powder. And my mirror got setting spray on it, so it's looking fuzzy and blurry, but that's okay. Oh, I'm loving this brush. I was trying to contour with this. Look how wide it is, and imagine how many mistakes I made and how thick I was applying the product. I've only been contouring my nose for 1 month ever in my life. I've tried it a couple times before my nose surgery, and my nose just wasn't the kind of nose that you can contour. It was not a good shape. It was too large. It just did not work with contour. Okay, so you have to really watch your lines. Otherwise, you can give yourself a crooked nose. So I'm not going to go too thin. And I put some on my hand to make sure I didn't have too much product. And then I want to do a crescent. I don't want to go too far down, and I don't want to go too far up. I don't want to make up what looks like a perfect circle. I just want to do a crescent, and I am not going to completely connect it to these lines. If I need to take some of that away, I can. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'll wash my robe after this. Just excuse me. Okay. And since it looks a tiny bit connected to it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase just a little bit right above it so that it doesn't look like too much. Just for me, that's what I've found. Okay, so it looks better already, and I haven't blended it. I'm not done. And now I'm going to do underneath my nose. So also again, I'm just doing a little crescent. I'm not bringing it up too high. I do not want to connect them. I could bring that down a little. The shape is there, the suggestion of the shape. And when I blend it, I could blend it up a little bit. I don't want to take the line up too high and be too harsh. Okay, let's see which beauty blender we want to use. Maybe my one that's already stained. Do you see the bottom of it now? It is more blended. So looking straight on, and I can fix that with my fingers a little bit. Not completely done, but it's just a shadow. It is not very dark like these are now. So we're gonna blend these to where it also looks like that. I tried using an e.l.f. pencil, a creamy e.l.f. pencil the other day, and it did the trick, but since I saw these thin brushes, I thought, you know, this is the way to go. And then I rock back and forth on that crescent to not totally lose what we put there. And I can dab it out with my finger. I think that's good. Okay, now setting powder. I'm going under my eye. I meant to use this one today. A Sonia Kashuk, I think it, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I naturally grab the ones I've been using and forget the new stuff that I put out. Okay, and we are going to go under this. When I blend this out, I will sweep it and then I will use light circles so that it is not a completely harsh, matte, and dewy line. Yes, I want there to be some definition there, but not harsh. Okay, and this may be controversial. I do my eyebrows so that when I do my eyebrow pencil, it doesn't just slip around because I put on so much moisturizer. Oh, holy moly. I forgot my sunscreen. Oh, holy moly. I am going to have to be very, very careful. Definitely very careful today. That means I can only run one quick errand. I have to make sure the visor does not touch my skin. This is the Sun by Me that I use, the same as my moisturizer brand. I love it. It lasts a long time for me. Dang it, a little goes far. Oh my goodness. The only bit of sunscreen I put on today was under my nose for my scar. I'm disappointed in myself. As you could tell, I take sun protection very seriously. It is the winter, but that does not matter. Okay. So I'm kind of going in circles to break up that line so that it isn't, you don't see that harsh line. This brush is softer than the one I was using. I think that will help with any pulling on my skin. Okay. See, we have a good base. 447. We are killing the game. And I don't say that to be conceited. I say that because I have come a long way. And now this is the time where I set. This is a primer and a setting spray. 2-in-1 by Giovanni. I never used to use primers or setting spray. But I took a chance at using this, and I like it a lot. I don't think I would like creamy primers, but I really haven't tried that many things. I'm very limited at what I've tried. Kind of a drugstore queen. Like to save money, but I'm going to be experimenting with name brand in like Ulta and Sephora, and see if it's worth it to spend a little more money on some products, or if I could just get dupes and similar things and the same kind of outcome in like Walgreens, CVS, and things like that. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna leave my brushes out. I like my suitcase. Let's make a little room here. And time for the next dump of stuff. I'm still kicking myself for the sunscreen. But my skin has overcome so much already, and it will heal from this. It will heal from 10 minutes of driving in the winter sun. Okay, eyebrows. This is a cool color. I know that it looks kind of darker than my hair, but not darker than my roots, and you will see. My eyebrows do two different things. This one has more of a point. It goes higher. This one goes lower. They're both very thin. I didn't used to have eyebrows. I'm trying to regrow them out with a brow thing, and I have eyelash serum to try to regrow some hair in those areas. I would not be opposed to a little mess up, a brow transplant. I'm not gonna say who I strongly think had them, celebrities, but excuse me, it seems kind of apparent, and I would do that, but I'm gonna try the serums first. I did try microneedling. Unfortunately, it wore off very quickly because I was using a vitamin C product that brightens. Kind of removed it. If I knew it was going to remove it so much, I would have tried it to avoid my eyebrows when I was washing my face, and just, avoided that, but I didn't. And you can only get microneedling so much because you can develop scar tissue. It is, tattooing. It wears off quickly, but, well, it depends if you're using products like I was using, and or, how they heal. There's a number of factors, but it doesn't last like the rest of your life. I guess some people can have some tint still there for many, many years. But also what she did is she measured my eyebrows out, and she made them identical, and I do not believe identical looks good. So I'm going to follow somewhat of my hair pattern, but my hair goes up really sharp here, and it goes up really high here, and this one doesn't. So I'm going to stop here so it doesn't go too high. I'm not going to give it the sharp point that it grows in. I'm going to try to round it out. I'm going to draw hair strokes down here where I don't have any to match it up over here. I also could draw a more peaky there, and I could draw, you know, like not take these hairs down so low. It depends whether I want them to be more dramatic or, you know, down a little bit. I tend to start with this one and then I end up following that one. I might start doing the other way around and see how I like it. Right-handed, I start with the right brow, it seems. Okay. Already it's getting a little bit higher than the other side, so I'm going to do my hair strokes down below and not go any higher on that arch. I'm drawing little hair strokes instead of just blocking it in. And towards towards the nose, I draw the hair strokes this way. Over here, I, you know, draw them this way, or, you know, right here, I do them that way, and then this way. And, you know, I try to follow over here. I'm going like this, it goes this, and then it turns into this way. I follow the hair pattern so that I'm not just coloring in like a crayon into a box. Okay, I've said it before in other videos, but we do not want them to be twins. That makes it look more fake. We want them to be more like sisters or cousins because our faces are not symmetrical on both sides, and it kind of looks funny and it looks fake to me. That's not what I'm going for. And also, then you're like going back and forth trying to make each one perfect, and it could get stressful, and then you make mistakes, and then you get stressed. And who wants to be stressed while doing makeup? Not me. So I just removed a little bit right here to kind of follow that side. I can go a little higher with the little part right here to match that, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And there we go. To clean it up, I can use a tiny bit of concealer, just a little dot, because it's really not a big mistake, just a little right there, or I can leave it, or I can use a little bit of white, and it's probably gonna do the trick. Okay, I have some new brushes. Let's see what I want to use here. Excuse me. Okay, I have a very thin, I was gonna use this for something else, but yeah, let's go ahead and use it. I'm going to put that right where I was trying to create a little higher. I usually use my fingers when I apply the white, but since I'm trying to do a cleanup, there. Look how easy that was. And we'll just match this, even though we had no mistakes on this side, just to match both sides. And while we have the white out, I'm going to bring it down the center of my nose. And I'm going to make a crescent right under where I put the crescent of the brown contour. I don't want to put it right in the middle of my nose. You can just start with like a crescent there, maybe even make a tiny little triangle underneath it and bring it down. Dab that out with your finger. You're just trying to highlight that, what you created. Not make it too obvious. Okay, and also anywhere else I want to do a little white, I could do the corner of my eyes. It's easier to start with the lighter colors than the dark. Even with painting, painters will start with the light colors and then go to dark, typically. like the ones that do window painting. They start with their lighter colors and put the dark on top. Okie dokie. Now I'm gonna do my medium color. These are all neutral. They're all matte. I prefer matte over sparkly now that I am middle-aged. I don't want sparklies drawing attention to any fine lines. I just find this is a better look for the generation I'm in, the age I'm in, the age I'm at, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so I start in the crease and then I bring it up. I have gigantic brow bones. I don't bring it all the way up. I have a color, so this is white. I have a color that's a little lighter. Okay, so the lightest one, and I have a little lighter, but I'm using this. And then so to blend these two, I would use this. And if I want a little darker, you can tell I don't usually use that one, but sometimes I do. In the crease, I can use this. I could also use this as an eyeliner. I can use it underneath. And then I use this most often as my eyeliner now. I used to use black, but now I'm leaning now towards the brown because it goes with these colors so well. And it just seems to look more natural and appealing with my hair color. You know, I don't have black hair, so, you know, black eyeliner just doesn't look as appealing to me. And I typically like dark brown mascara as well. If all they have is black, I can make it work. But I do prefer dark brown. Okay, so now I will put a tiny bit of that same color that I just put on my brow. I'm doing something a little different than I did the other days. I'm gonna put a little underneath. Not too dark, but it's gonna put a little bit of shadow. And then I will use the darker ones on top of that, but just to match the top. And I'm only going halfway. I'm not yet creating a wing. I'm just putting a little shadow. And then now I'm gonna move to the darker color. Where's the right brush I want to use? I had it right here. Okay. This is my favorite one. It's round on one side and flat on the other. I'm going to put a little more dark, just right in the crease. And then I will blend my brow bone. Let's take that. Just in the crease. And then a little right there. It kind of went right there, so when I blend that, I can clean that up a tiny bit right there. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Just a little darker. And so with that same small brush that I was using to put the medium color, I'm going to go ahead and, okay, so I put the medium color from about the middle over. Now I'm gonna take a little darker, and I'm not gonna go all the way over, I'm just gonna go to there. And still no wing under. Now you could see that, but it's not going all the way to the middle, lining up with the middle. It's a little more over. See that? And then it kind of blends it from a softer color to a darker color instead of just all dark one color. I really like that. It's a blend, like an ombre. Okay, this is where we get our wing of eyeliner. Well, maybe I should go ahead and blend the brow bone first. Okay, lighter color, not the white, not the medium, but just a little blend. And then I take it here. See how it's a little softer than this side? Okay. Just a little blendy. Little tiny circle and there. So it has blended. And if you need to go a little higher, if you need to add a little more dark in the crease, you can do that. Okay, so this is my first time using this brush, but I thought it would give me a little more control and finer lines. I am using the dark brown for eyeliner to give me a winged eyeliner, and I'm only going halfway. I am not going all the way across. That is too heavy. It weighs the eye down. I'm using this thin angled brush. I used to use, bear with me, y'all. I was using, let's see how thick the difference is. A little thicker. If this does not work for me, I will go back to what was working for me, but we will try. And if you see, it's about the length that you're gonna want your wing. So you really are just stamping from the corner. And then I don't like it as much. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the other one. The other one, same thing. It's about the length that you're gonna want for your wing. I thought that would give me a sharper, crisper line. It did not, but that's okay. Oh yeah. We're just gonna bring that wing up higher. Sometimes you have to go bigger when you've made a mistake. So we got quite the wing right there today, and that's okay. Especially if I wear fake lashes today. That'll look really good. Then I like to compare before I completely angle the point so that I don't stress. And they don't have to be perfect, but you want them, you know, you don't want one going this way and one going that way. So they are pretty close. And this one needs more of a triangle. Just needs a little more color. The triangle's there, just is not showing up. It's there. It's there. Okay, and this is when we've already put the medium, the little bit darker, and now here's a little bit darker. I will be doing a wing underneath. Let me go ahead and do a little. I had a Q-tip, but I'm going to. I thought I saw a little mistake. I can clean that up, but you know, it's honestly really fine. It looks like I've got like a little mess up right there. Let me see. It's fine. I'm not tripping. Okay. I think it just went down a little farther than I wanted it to, trying that new brush. So when I do my curve, I'm not going to want to connect it to this and then do the curve. I'm going to want to give it a little space and then do it. What we're doing is an undershadow of this wing. Just a little tail. This will all look better once I do a tiny little touch up and when you put your mascara on. So that's it. And from the side, you will see that. From the front, you'll see it. But once you put the makeup on, that's not the main attraction. It's just a shadow behind the eyelashes. I need a better lighting. Okay. And I am not covering up that. Okay, so on the bottom, I did this color from the middle over. Then I did this color halfway over, and now I'm doing this one just a small bit and extending past it. So I have 3 colors. It's going from medium, well, I should say light, even though the light is a medium out of this. But out of those 3 colors, that would be the lighter one, the medium, and then the dark. And you can, it like blends together. If you don't have that much time, just choose one color for the bottom and do this. But when you have the time and you want to be a little artsy, go for it. There she is, guys and gals. There's a tiny little mistake down there, but it is no big deal. Look how much we're coming together. I'm going to keep saying it. 47. And when I put my hair up and it really shows my face, I am told a lot that I don't look my age, especially when I say, oh, I'm a grandma, and they're like, grandma? I'm a young grandma. I mean, 47 is kind of a young grandma. My grandson's almost 4, so I was a really young grandma, 43. Okay, so I used to use this black eyeshadow. That's where it started, when I first started using eyeshadow as eyeliner. I just liked the look better. It was softer, not as harsh like crayon or liquid liner, but I do have liquid liners, you know. It just depends on the day, but right now my groove is to use these eyeshadows. Okay, when I'm thinking of one thing, I get a little distracted. Okay, primer. Now I need another primer, so I'm gonna want to go buy that before this really runs out. I want to look for a coupon when I'm already going to the store or a discount. I'm gonna go ahead and look for it. If it's not there, I'll go the next day or go to another store. Or if they've got a buy one get one half off, that's what I'm gonna want to do. Okay, so I start by going straight, and then I do a little shimmy, and then I roll to the other side of the brush where it has more product. This is a primer. After I do the primer, that's when I curl my eyelashes. See, I shimmy, shimmy, and then I roll to the other side where there's more product. I don't just keep the brush in one side, I roll it, you know, like after I've done the shimmy, then I roll it, and then another shimmy, so that I am not pumping the brush in and out over and over. Every time you pump the brush in there, it dries out the product. And I only do it on my upper eyelashes. I do not need a bunch of eyelashes on the bottom. It's not a very good look. I just like a subtle little line on the bottom, not all the way over and not all the way over on my eyeliner on the top. I used to do that, just too heavy. And when I had that skin already hanging, it was just too much, too much, too much. So we are learning a new way together. Okay. And when I worked in a restaurant, there was this lady, and she was aging so gracefully, and she did her makeup where she only put her eyeliner from the middle out. And by habit, I just kept going all the way over, all the way over. And I never forgot about her. And, you know, us women inspire each other. Okay, so now look, I've clamped down, and I am going to pull it out. That helps to give an extra curl. You don't have to go all the way to where you're pinching your skin, just close down to the waterline, or the skin, the line of your eye. And then when you release, and it's sticking, but yeah, release upward with that curl, not downward. Otherwise, you're going to lose that. I know a lot of people curl. Okay, again. I know a lot of people curl their lashes before they put on any product. But I find this holds better. It's kind of like putting a hairspray on your hair and then curling it. Some people curl their hair and then put a hairspray. Which leads me to say I really don't like hairspray or many products in my hair. Okay. There's people that like let their hair dry naturally, but then they put so much product in their hair, and I'm like, you know, besides heat protectant, like, can all that stuff with all that alcohol really be good for your hair? But I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going with my brand new, very thin mascara, but I do have the primer on, so it should be okay. All right, shimmy, 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 shimmy. Roll it. Use the tip. As long as you don't have too much, you don't want clumps. Use the tip in the outer corner. Keep rolling it. And now that you've used the majority of what's on the brush and there's just a tiny bit left, that's when I go to the lower lashes, and I don't start at the waterline because I don't want to aggravate that waterline. These brushes are abrasive. I take it more to the middle of the line, not here but here, and then I just touch it, and kind of like once it's in that middle, I like roll it up a little so that it hits that instead of starting and then ouch, ouch, you know, like I have a little more control to go, and it'll just touch those lashes near the waterline. The last thing you want to do is make your eye water or scratch your eye. And see, I have enough eyelashes now down there, but not like too much. There's a time and a place for that look when you're doing dramatic like photography, or you know, you just like dramatic eyes, and you can even do falsies like spread out far apart, you know, single long ones and very long ones on top. But you really don't want for normal day, or I don't want for normal day-to-day looks, for my lashes on the bottom to be as thick and as long as the ones on top, or compete, or just like, you know, make it look like real thick black under there. That's not what I'm going for. Okay. Because I put the primer on first, this thin mascara is working okay. It's going to get thicker once I have used it a few times. Okay, let's use the outer corner. All of the other products that we've used so far, if we made any mistakes, they are pretty simple mistakes, easy to clean up. But mascara is a difficult one because it is very black. It's like a tar-like substance, and getting it off will remove those foundations, concealers, and so this is where you really want to be careful. But I know that if you're anyone that's been putting on makeup for a while and or have used mascara, you have probably gotten, you know, a big glob there. You've gotten where the dots of mascara go behind your eye. I've just gotten better with it over all my years of using mascara, but it still happens to me. Look, I didn't even have to go. No, I was practicing that just now. Okay, I'm debating on using falsies or not. I used to wear very, very heavy, thick, long ones to try to camouflage my nose. I wanted the eyelashes to stick out further than my nose, which I would have needed like 4 feet long eyelashes. Just kidding. Today I use something like this. They might not even be much longer than my lashes, but what I can do is apply a little mascara just to the tips, and it brings them a little longer. But I have a curl there. I've got eyelashes. I could put another coat if I wanted to, because again, this is pretty thin right now, being brand new. So I'll debate whether I want to go ahead and do the eyelashes or another coat. Maybe let's do one more coat and we can avoid doing lashes for today. Okay, there she is. And then I keep forgetting to put my lip liner. 1 second. I will start putting my lip liner and lip gloss where it needs to be when I'm doing these. Oh. I tend to do it, I do my makeup here, and then I put it in my backpack or purse, depending where I'm going, so that I have it if I need to touch it up. Okay, yesterday I was saying that I overlined the top too much, and it made this lip look bigger than this lip, and I really don't want my lip to look fake. Yes, it has a little bit of filler there, and I explained why I chose filler in this top lip. It used to sit back further than this one. Like the profile, it just like there was nothing there, and it made me look unhappy and like I was frowning, and I wanted it to come out so that they were at the same distance in the profile. But if I overline too much, it becomes bigger than this one. I might even get a tiny bit just to, because you can kind of tell this one's more full than this one, like plump wise. And when I get my filler, I've said this before in other videos, but just in case anybody hasn't seen those, I only get my filler from here to here. I do not get it in here, otherwise it tends to look more like a hot dog or sausage. You want it to go like that. So I tell her, do not put it in the corners of my mouth, and I'm very, very subtle with my filler. I've only done it twice ever in my life, and very minimal amount. I think it was 4 years ago. I did a little bit in this lip, just here. Nobody even noticed that I got it done, except the first couple days. My daughter was laughing at me because they were swollen. And um, how long ago was it? About 8 months ago, I did this lip only, not that one. So I have had things done, very minimal. And as I'm saying very minimal, remember I've had a nose job, I've had my ears pinned. Those things aren't minimal, but when I'm talking about fillers, Botox a few times, lips twice, and very little bit. Again, not in the corners. I have a little white loss of pigment right here in the middle of my lip, so I tend to color that in with the lip liner. The gloss isn't really enough. And when I overline, again, I do it only where I've had the filler. I don't overline out here, out here. I just overline a tiny bit right here and a tiny bit right there. And I tend to follow the shape of my Cupid's bow. I don't, stray from that because I actually like the look of when it goes like this. Some people like it round. That's the beauty of makeup. Okay, ladies and gents and everything in between. I thank you for watching. We're going to keep doing skincare and makeup together. Outfits of the day. If you know anybody who would like some tips on how to apply their skin, if they're getting more mature, they need skincare product tips or any other kind of products for aging and maturing skin. Anybody that doesn't feel comfortable in applying makeup, doesn't feel comfortable in their skin, this is the place to come because, you know, my skin has dramatically improved in gentle ways, and it saved me a lot of money. I was going to get a neck lift. I had tons and tons of folds. It was going to be tens of thousands of dollars. And with that, they were going to lift my face. I do have a little laxicity here, but I am beginning radio frequency treatments and other gentle treatments, and just using skincare, and it is dramatically changing in just a few months. So aging gracefully is the way to go, and you can always use, surgery as well, but having healthy skin is going to give you a better outcome when you have those surgeries, if you choose those surgeries. Imagine trying to straighten out crepey thin skin. You're still going to have all those really fine lines and thin skin. You want your skin to have a lot of collagen and just be plump and look young. So this is the place to send people. Excuse my voice. Again, I'm Brooke, and this channel is Babbling Brooke. Please like and subscribe and share. Thank you.